What if I told you you could trade markets profitably every single day, and it didn't matter if they went up, down, or sideways? I'm Boris Schlossberg. Let's get into it. Most traders think that you can only make money when the market explodes in one direction. But here's the real truth. That happens only 10 to 15% of the time. The rest of the time, the market basically oscillates, chops around, goes sideways, and does nothing but stop you out over and over and over again. But those micro moves, those 5 to 10 point swings, they happen constantly. And if you know how to scalp, you could create a strategy that could pay you daily with the consistency of a donut shop instead of just occasionally a few times during the year. As scalpers, we don't predict, we anticipate. Wait for the market to show its hand, and then we pounce, make a few points, lock in our profits, and disappear before the noise returns. I'm not trading for the next 500 points. I'm looking for the next 5 to 10, but I'm doing it at the right time. When volatility spikes, when momentum heats up, when the price action confirms the movement. That's when I strike, that's when I pounce, and that's when I lock in my profits. Now here's the real secret. In scalping, you always want to trade in the direction of the trend. If the 8 SMA is below the 200, you're in a downtrend. If the 8 SMA is above, you're in an uptrend. In scalping, you always want to go with the flow, not against it. Because here's the thing, even if your timing is off, often the momentum of the market will rescue your trade and you'll wind up in profit. Most people fail at trading because they chase home runs. Professionals focus on base hits. 5 points here, 10 points there, and pretty soon the profits really begin to stack up. The key here is consistency and keeping your losses small. Scalping teaches you true discipline. Get in, get out, get paid. It's the closest thing to a daily paycheck you'll ever see in the market. Every great scalp has 3 phases: setup, trigger, and exit. Rhythm is everything. Once you begin to understand that, you stop guessing and you start executing. The beauty of scalping is flexibility. You can trade any time of day or night. You can trade any instrument you like. You can trade any type of market, trending, choppy, or reversal. Okay, now let's take a look at how we put my scalp ideas into action. What you see on the chart here is my own proprietary BFF dots indicator, which is available both in Tradingview and on wealth charts. We'll start with Tradingview, and I'm going to show you exactly how I trade my scalp positions in a trend-only direction using my dots. I live trade this in YouTube Live every single day, 9 o'clock in the morning, occasionally 8 o'clock in the morning if there's news coming out in front of the North American session. So if you subscribe to the channel and hit the live tab, you can always join us and see exactly how I prove to you that scalping is the way to go. Now, the way I trade is 3 separate ways in terms of trend. I'm going to show you the first, simplest, and cleanest way of trading trend using dots. The dots indicator basically looks at highest highs, lowest lows within the trend component. The trend, as I define it, has 2 components: the 200-period SMA, which is the red line over here, and the 8-period SMA, which is this green red line over here. When the 8 is above the 200, we're in an uptrend, and these white dots indicate the first sign of a move to the upside in the uptrend. Now, in addition to the white dots, what you will see on the 8-period SMA, which you may find very interesting, is that it has a 2-color tone. There's a green color, which shows you the slope is positive, and a red color, which shows you the slope is negative. And when the slope is positive is exactly where we want to be in the trade. So let me show you the simplest, cleanest signal entry exit structure that I like to do. We have a white dot over here in positive. So I'm going to ignore this one because I want to just simply start with this one right over here. We have a white dot over here on our structure, and I'm going to have the signal right over here. But do I enter here? No, I do not, because as you can see, the slope itself is negative. And I want to make sure that everything lines up so that I can ride the trend to success. I want to have positive trend, positive breakout with the white dot, and positive slope to confirm that all three components of buying have meshed into a great looking signal, which means that I wait very, very patiently on a 2-minute chart, which is what I'm using to scalp over here. And I move over here in gold, wait a couple of minutes until the slope itself turns positive and the candle turns green. I have this beautiful combination, white dot, and then finally candle green slope. Boom, I'm long here, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Next signal over here, the dot is white, the candle is green, the slope is green. I don't have to wait for anything. I just simply go long, boom, another scalp, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Last, I look over here, I have a white dot, but I don't have a green slope or a green candle. So I wait patiently. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. This is not a signal because the slope is still red. It's only this candle over here, right over here, that finally gives me the permission to get long. Boom, another winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's it. That's all it takes to scalp with trend. Have a great indicator, have a great entry structure, and just take the quick profit and move on to the next one. Now let's take a look at a second way that I like to scalp, which is a very, very momentum-driven way of scalping. We're going to use wealth charts for this example, and we call this the Christmas tree scalp. The reason why we call it the Christmas tree is because we have red and green labels, and we just decided we didn't have much creativity that they look like Christmas trees. So everybody loves Christmas. Why not make it a Christmas tree trade? It certainly delivers the gifts for you when it hits. Here is the basic Christmas tree setup. What we're looking for, again, is always first trend condition. So in this particular case, we have the 200-period SMA, we have the 8-period SMA. Everything is red, 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 which means there's dominant selling going on. And we are looking not for one, but for 2 consecutive Christmas tree signals. Once we have 1, 2, it's the second one that really confirms to us there's tremendous amount of momentum behind this trade. Want to get short here, and as you can see, it's not just enough for a scalp, it's actually enough for a big positional trade. But then it keeps going and going and going. In strong trending markets like we've had recently, this trade delivers money over and over again simply by just looking at the Christmas tree signals. That's what makes it so simple, so elegant, and so beautiful. You just simply take it, reset, and wait for the next signal. If the Christmas tree is there, it's going to take you to profit almost every single time. Now, what if you didn't want to look at the screen 3 to 4 hours a day because you didn't have time or didn't have the interest to be staring at charts all day long? Is there a way to use scalping to do 1 a day trade that could be very effective in actually banking profits almost every single day? And the answer is very much yes. You can use the BFF dots indicator for 1 a day trade in this particular manner. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, and I'm going to tell you exactly when and what instrument you should be using in order to be able to put this into action. First and foremost, this really only works on the equity market because the equity market has a very defined open and a very defined close. The equity market in real market hours opens at 9:30 New York and closes at 4 p.m. New York. We're going to focus on the very last hour of New York trade. Just like in sports, the last few minutes of a game very often can determine all of the direction of the game. The same thing happens in the markets. Human beings are the same all over the place. They wait to the last moment and then decide which direction they want to go with and then put their bets at that particular time. So we have optimized our BFF dots indicator in order to be able to profit from this unitary move during the final hour of the price action. What we do is we isolate the 3 p.m. hour. This is New York time using wealth charts, right? I am on New York time. After 3 o'clock, we're looking for 1 clean key signal. And that signal is the Christmas tree trade. Here's what we need. We need all 3 things to line up. We need the trend to be in one direction. So in this particular case, the trend is negative. The 8 SMA is below the 200 SMA. Trend is clearly directive. And we're looking for the very first Christmas tree signal in the direction of the big trend after 3 o'clock, which happens to be right over here. Here's the Christmas tree trade. We take it. And of course, it's much more than just a scalp, but it's certainly good for a scalp anytime that we can find that trade on the closing hour. It makes it very simple. You simply Come up to the screen at 3 o'clock in New York once a day. Look for that particular setup. If it doesn't exist, there's no trade. But if it does, it aligns itself perfectly with the general trend of the market, and you just ride it to profit almost every single day with super clean, super easy entries. No doubt, purely quantitative, purely direct. Everything works exactly as it's supposed to. Now, if you're interested in all 3 scalp setup that I showed you, I've actually created a PDF. The link to download it is in the comments below. It's 100% free. All you need to do is simply click that link. I'm happy to provide you with a PDF so you can learn all of the 3 ways that I scalp the market every single day. And if you want to see me do it live, please come join us every single day during our live sessions. As I said, we start 9 o'clock almost every single day and occasionally 8 o'clock. Just subscribe to the channel and look at the live tab, and you'll see exactly when I'm there live. And I'd love to be able to have you in our room and show you exactly how scalping is literally the best trading strategy there is, both for your own personal account and for prop trading. Boris Schlossberg, I see you guys in the markets. Over and out.